Please join me. San Jose City Councilmember Peter Ortiz. We also have representatives from the office of Josh Becker. Today is important. We're going to hear why. Before we do that, though, we have a saying in the labor movement. When we fight, what happens? We win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Zoe, we're so happy to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is so important today to stand up and speak up. You know, the Republicans control the White House, the Senate, the House of Representatives, but they don't control our voices. And we can recall when Trump was president the last time, he tried to destroy the Postal Service. He made changes. He put in this right-wing inspector general, postal general. Just before the election, they tried to slow down the mail so that people couldn't vote. And you know what? The American people stood up and said, "No way! We love the Postal Service." That needs to happen again. You know, the fact that Trump is engaging in illegal activity isn't really a surprise. Criminal. He is a convicted felon. He has shown that he's probably never read the Constitution, so doesn't know that the Postal Service is there, doesn't realize that the Postal Service structure was created by an act of Congress, can't be undone by a pen, by an order, by an autocrat, and so we're going to fight. We do know that Postmaster General DeJoy sent a letter to Congress earlier this week, and he says that he signed an agreement with Elon Musk and Doge to reform the agency. We know that the ultimate goal is to privatize and destroy the U.S. Postal Service. They say that they will cut 10,000 workers in the Postal Service. We can't allow that to happen. So Democrats in the House have organized task forces for litigation. I'm on that group, so that we can bring the lawsuits and stop these actions in the remaining part of the government that the right-wingers don't fully control, and that's the courts. But we also need to rally public opinion, because what we found is when the pushback is so big, they get pushed back. Woo! This is the start of that effort. I'm going to be with you. God bless you for what you're doing.
We're with you. Give it up for our amazing Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren. Go, Zoe! Before I invite our next speaker up, I just want to acknowledge I see a lot of unions out here. I want to give a shout out to a few of them. Are you a member of NALC? Let me hear it. I also see a lot of folks from UA Local 393, our building trades in support with us. I also see some members from SEIU, UFCW 5. This is a family affair because the post office is our shared responsibility to protect. I'd like to give the mic to Assemblymember Kalra. Let's give it up for Ash.
All right. Well, first of all, Zoe has been fighting like hell for a long time, and been fighting Trump, fighting MAGA. So we should be so grateful to have a champion like that fighting for us in D.C., representing San Jose so well. Thank you, Zoe. And of course, Cohen has been very busy standing up for workers up and down this valley, especially with the attacks coming from Trump and Musk. And I know we're going to stand with Gene in the Labor Council. We're going to stand with Ernie. I'm so happy to see others from other unions here, because I see Ernie and the letter carriers stand with other unions all the time. It's time for us to stand with each and every one of you. Now, we understand what they're doing, and to Gene's point, the Congress member's point, they don't care if it's in the Constitution or not, because they're trying to dismantle our public institutions. They're trying to dismantle what makes our democracy great. And if you think about it, one of the greatest public service innovations in modern times is the Postal Service. I can put a letter at my front doorstep, and in a matter of a couple of days, it'll go thousands of miles to someone else's front doorstep. That's something that the private sector cannot do, unless you want to pay $50 for it, right? And that's their goal. they're trying to privatize it and squeeze out public institutions for the profit of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and others that don't respect and don't care about public service or the public in general. They don't care if services get cut because it doesn't affect them and their billionaire friends. When we look at the Postal Service, our national parks, over here in San Jose, our libraries, our firefighters, what have you, these are all public services. We pay into for a public benefit. They're not there for profit. They're trying to switch that up. They're trying to create profit out of public services that have existed and worked so well for so long. And we're going to fight them at every turn. We're going to fight to save the Postal Service. We're going to fight for our letter carriers, because when we do that, we're fighting for our parents, our children. We're fighting for medication arriving in the mailbox. We're fighting for personal letters coming from overseas and arriving in the mailbox. We are fighting to make sure that invoices and bills get paid on time. And we're fighting so ballots arrive in the mailbox. Because the Postal Service has become part of a trusted election system. And that's because each and every one of you can be trusted with that valuable vote. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for fighting. I know it's a difficult time for so many of us, but right now we have to make sure that we don't stay home, that we hit the streets. As Congresswoman Lofgren said, yes, we have the courts, but we also know we have a president that is starting to ignore the courts. And submerging us into a constitutional crisis. And to her point, the one thing that'll turn them back is us showing up and fighting back. And so let's keep fighting, let's keep showing up, show up for one another, and let's make sure that they understand that we are not going to abandon our postal workers. We're not going to abandon this country and allow our democracy to be taken over by these zealots and these right-wing oligarchs. We're not going to let it happen, and we're going to fight them to get our country back in the hands of the people.
We're going to hear from now our amazing Assembly member, Alex Lee.
Mail carriers, are we in the house? We are here to send a strong message to all those right-wing extremist oligarchs that Austin just talked about, that want to pillage the public sector. You know, right now, what we are doing is standing up for American people, not just the American people in San Jose Silicon Valley, but also for those red districts that have been duped and lied to by the billionaires. Right now, what we're seeing, you know, the president and all his billionaire friends, they say they want to bring America back to a golden era. But what they want to do is turn the clock so far back to the medieval era. Because they want a handful of people who are so wealthy and yet so powerful that they can control our lives and control how much of our money they can extract from us. And our bodies as well. They control our bodies. And they want to go back to feudalism. And that's what you're seeing right now, where they are trying to concentrate so much power in so few people. And they also understand how critical it is to take over and privatize. Privatize really meaning that they can own for themselves our communication system. And that is the bedrock, the spine of our communication system is the Postal Service. And so if they know how powerful and vital our letter carriers are, they are going to keep fighting to take over, and they want to privatize it, because that's what they're doing right now, right? They want to charge installments to get your DoorDash burritos. They want to charge installments just to get your life-saving medication. They want to squeeze every cent out of the American people, and it is important and incumbent upon us to take the fight from the people to the White House and make sure that they understand that we cannot be fucked with, right? And so I stand here with so many great champions together with you to make sure that they will never privatize and own the backbone of the American system that is the Postal Service. Let's keep fighting. Because when we fight, what happens? When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. We also want to hear from our newest Assembly member, Patrick Ahrens. Let's give it up for Patrick. Thank you, Assembly.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Patrick Ahrens. I am the newest member of the California Legislative Progressive Caucus. And it's no secret that we are joined by our former chair of the Progressive Caucus, Kalra, and our current chair of the Progressive Caucus, Alex Lee. When we're standing up, using our voices and speaking out, we have our voice, but what we have that is so near and dear is we have Zoe Lofgren representing us in the United States Congress. We have Zoe, who chaired the first impeachment trial of Donald Trump, and we'll see him in court again. And we're going to continue to fight like hell. Them attacking and going after the United States Post Office is not a new trick. They've been going after this for years. George Bush tried to decry that the pensions and health care benefits were bankrupt when they raided it to pass more Bush tax cuts. They've been trying to do this for decades. We've been pushing back at every turn, and we're going to sit there and we're going to fight back, and we're going to send Zoe back to Congress so we can impeach him again. And we're going to go to Republican districts, and we're going to go get on the bus, and we're going to flip the House in the next Congress. And we're going to fight like hell. They go after our VTA workers. And we're going to fight like hell when they go after our frontline healthcare workers in SEIU. And we're going to continue to show up and fight back. And that's what the lesson that we need to keep doing is when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
We're very, very lucky in the city of San Jose to have Peter Ortiz representing us. He is a champion for working class people. Let's give it up for Peter, Councilmember.
All right, you all feel this energy? Are we ready to fight? Are we ready to fight for postal workers? That's what I'm saying. My name's Peter Ortiz. I have the honor of representing East San Jose, the San Jose City Council. And it's a pleasure to stand with our brothers and sisters in the Letter Carriers Union. Whether it's raining, whether it's shining, who shows up? Our letter carriers, and it's time for us to show up for them, like our Assemblymember said. It's truly an honor to stand next to our Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, who's been the champion of our labor movement for so many years in the United States House of Representatives. She's been a true advocate for our Latino and immigrant community, and she's not stopping, and I'm going to be there to stand by to make sure that she has a strong voice in Congress, now and always. We've seen this playbook, right, that our oligarchs like to do, that our wealthy like to do. They defund, and then they privatize. They do cuts throughout an entire department, and then they say, look, the department doesn't work. Well, maybe if you didn't cut all the staff members, or maybe you didn't cut some of these vital programs for our community, then those programs may work, right? So I'm going to stay committed to this movement. I'm going to stay fighting for our people, because as our colleague said, this isn't just about the mail. This isn't just about our mail system. It's about our mothers. It's about our families. It's about our voting system. The wheels of our democracy are by the hard work of our letter carriers. And we need to be there. We need to stand with them, and we need to fight like hell with them. Thank you all. I'll continue to be here.
Thank you so much. Just a couple of points. One of the most hard jobs to have right now is that of labor leader. It is so important to lift up presidents and elected leaders of our labor movement. And I want to give a shout out to President Ernie Arrañaga from NALC. I also want to say, because you're all here and I know that we have shared values, this Tuesday, 12:30 p.m., San Jose City Hall, a rally for the VTA workers who are still not being treated with respect and dignity. Please join us there. But before we hear from Ernie, I just want to say, this is the beginning of a fight for the next 4 years, and it's going to require energy and commitment from all of us to come together, to not have wedges that are introduced to keep us from fighting and to keep from fighting each other when we have so much external pressures to make sure that we know what's actually happening. So on behalf of the labor movement, thank you for being here. Ernie's going to give us some closing remarks, and then we're going to bring some more street to the heat and more heat to the street when we say hell no to U.S. attacks on the U.S. Postal Service. Ernie.
Thank you, Jean. All right. I know for a fact that when it comes to issues of the Postal Service. It becomes a very delicate and sensitive issue with a lot of members in Congress, Assembly, Labor Council, and isn't it comforting to know that they are here standing with us today? So with that, please join me in giving out a nice loud letter carrier cheer to our Member of Congress, Assembly, Labor Council. Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Thank you, everybody, and I know they're very busy, and I'm so delightful and grateful that they are all here with us, and then thank you also for being out here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And with that, we will now be starting with the little rally and walking up and down the street with Nika and this sign leading us forward. And thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Thank you.